Jai Sri Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, prayers by Queen Kunti and Parīkṣit said. So, here in the verse 16, it was mentioned that after neutralized the Brahmastra by Lord Sri Krishna, Sonakya Rishi addressed to all Brahmanas at Nimisarina that, O Brahmanas, don't think that this incident to be especially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible personality of a Godhead. By his own transcendental energy, he creates, maintains, and inherites all material things, although he himself is unborn. So here it is mentioned, Mam Mamasthaye Etada Ascharyam Sarvashcharyamaye Jyute Ya idam maya ya devaya sarvatya avati hanti ajaha. So here the purport is the activities of the Lord are always inconceivable to the teeny brain of the living entities. Nothing is impossible for the Supreme Lord, but all his actions are wonderful for us, and thus he is always beyond the range of our conceivable limits. The Lord is the all powerful, all perfect personality of a Godhead. The Lord is 100% perfect, whereas other, namely Narayana, Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, and all other living beings, possesses only different percentage of such perfection. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is unrivaled. So here in the next verse, it was mentioned that thus saved from the radiation of the Brahmastra, Kunti, the caste devotee of the Lord, and her five sons and Draupadi addressed Lord Sri Krishna as he started from for home. So here it is mentioned, Brahma Teja Vinimuktare Atyamah Sah Krishnaya प्रयाण प्रयाणभिमुखे कृष्णमिदमाय वृथा सति. So here the purport is Kunti is described herein as Sati and or chaste due to her unalloyed devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. Her mind will now be expressed in the following prayers of Lord Sri Krishna. The chaste devotee of the Lord do not look to other, namely any other living being or demigod, even for a deliverance from danger. That will all along the the characteristic of the whole family of the Pandavas. They knew nothing except Krishna, and therefore Lord was also always ready to help them in all respect and in all circumstances. That is the transcendental nature of the Lord. He reciprocates the dependence of the devotee. One should not therefore look for help from imperfect living being or demigods, but one should look for all help from Lord Sri Krishna, who is competent to save his devotees. Such a case devotee also never asks the Lord for help, but the Lord, out of his own accord, he is always anxious to render it. So here in the next verse it was mentioned that Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisance unto you because you are the original personality and you are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything. Yet you are invisible to all. So here it is mentioned Kunti Vacha. Namaste Purusam Tavyeyadyam Ivhash Iswa अरं प्रकृत्येह परम अलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अंतरवीर अवसितं. So here the purport is Srimati Kunti Devi was quite aware that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, although he was playing the part of her nephew. Such an enlightened lady could not commit a mistake by offering obe- obeisance unto her nephew. Therefore, she addressed him as the original Purusha beyond the material cosmos. Although all living entities are all transcendental, they are neither original nor infallible. The living entities are apt to fall down under the clutches of a material nature, but the Lord is never like that. In the Vedas, therefore, he is described as the chief among all living entities. Nitya Nityanam Chetanam Chetananam. Then again, he is addressed as Ishvara or the controller. The living entities or the demigods like Chandra and Surya are also to some extent Ishvara, but none of them is the supreme Ishvara or the ultimate controller. He is the Parameshwara or the super soul. He is both within and without. Although he was present before Srimati Kunti as her nephew, he was also within her and everyone else. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita 15.15, the Lord says, I am situated in everyone's heart, and only due to me one remembers, forgets, and is congruent. That etc. Through all the Vedas, I am to be known because I am the compiler of the Vedas, I am the teachers of the Vedanta. Queen Kunti affirms the Lord, although both within and without all living beings, is still invisible. The Lord is, so to speak, a puzzle for the common man. Queen Kunti experienced personally that Lord Sri Krishna was present before her, yet he entered within the womb of uh, Uttara to save her embryo from the attack of Vasudhama Brahmastra. Queen Kunti herself was puzzled about whether Sri Krishna is all pervasive or localized. In fact, he is both, but he reserved the right of not being exposed to person who are not surrendered soul. This is checking Saturn is called the Maya energy of the Supreme Lord, and it controls the limited version of the rebellious soul. It is explained as follow. So here in the next verse, it is mentioned that being beyond the range of the limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the Saturn of dilating energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. So here it is mentioned Maya Maya Javanika Chananam अज्ञानधोकस्यब्जम् अव्यव्ययम् न लोकस्य मूढदृश्य नातो नत्यधरो yatha. So here the purport is in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna affirms that less intelligent person or who is in the mode of ignorance mistake him to be an ordinary man like us, and thus they deride him. The same is confirmed here by Queen Kunti. The less intelligent person or the person who is in the mode of ignorance are those who rebel against the authority of the Lord. Such persons are known as Asura. The Asura cannot recognize the Lord's authority. When the Lord Himself appears amongst us as Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, or in His original form of Krishna, He performs many wonderful acts which are humanly impossible. As we shall find in the 10th canto of this great literature, Lord Sri Krishna exhibited his humanly impossible activities even from the day of his laying on the lap of his mother. He killed the Putana witch, although he s- smeared her breast with poison just to kill the Lord. The Lord shook her breast like a natural baby, and he sucked out her very life also. Similarly, he lifted the Govardhana hills just as a boy pick of a frog's umbrella, and stood several days continuously just to give protection to the residents of Vrindavana. These are some of the superhuman activities of the Lord described in authoritative Vedic literature like the Puranas, Itihasas, history or and Upanishads. He has delivered wonderful instruction in the shape of Bhagavad Gita. He has shown marvelous capacities as a hero, as a householder, as a teacher, and as a renouncer. He is accepted as the supreme personality of a Godhead by such authoritative personality as Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Narada, Madhyava, Shankara, Ramanuja, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jivas Goswami, Vivaswanath, Chakravarti, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and all other authorities of the line. He himself has declared as much in many places of the authentic lecturers, and yet there is a class of a man with demoniac mentality who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as the supreme truth. This is partially due to their poor fund of knowledge and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy, which results from various misdeeds in the past and present. Such person could not recognize Lord Sri Krishna even when he was present before them. Another difficulty is that those who depend more on their imperfect sense cannot realize him as the supreme lord. Such persons are like the modern scientists. They want to know everything by their experimental knowledge, but it is not possible to know the supreme person by imperfect experimental knowledge. He is described herein as adhokasajja, or beyond the range of experimental knowledge. All our senses are imperfect. We claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, which are also beyond our control. The Lord is beyond the observation of a sense intelligence perception. Queen Kunti accept this deficiency of the conditions only, especially of the women class who are less intelligent. For a less intelligent man, there must be such thing as temple, mosque, or church, so that they may begin to recognize the authority of the Lord and hear about Him from authorities in such holy places. For less intelligent man, this beginning of spiritual life is essential, and only foolish men decry the establishment of such place of worship, which are required to raise the standard of spiritual attribute for the mass of people. For less intelligent person bowing down before the authority of the Lord, as general done in the temple, mosque, or churches, is as beneficial as it is for the advanced devotee to meditate upon him by active service. So here Queen Kunti generally describing mm, the capacity of the Lord Sri Krishna. Jai Jagannath, Jai Sri Krishna.